Gave me a little bit of a trouble. Looks like we're here now. I know. So far I'm actually, you know, most of the time I load onto a server and get a whole bunch of tells right away. People have just kind of figured out what my character names are and they want to join on the stream. But whenever I play my level 30s, suddenly those tells slow to a crawl. I've only got one person in the group with me right now on Kyber, and that's because I guess you know, it's you can't roll up a quick iconic. Helps. I'm on Armagh, ARMAHGH on Kyber if you would like to join. I am at a level 30. You just got to be at least level 20 if you want to join me. We're going to be running the new free quest and just kind of some odds and ends here today. I thought it would be a fairly casual stream. We don't have a whole lot to talk about, but we do have some things we can talk about. Happy Wednesday to you too, Elizabeth, over on Facebook. Same forehand, thank you very much. Volume there. My voice was gone for about a whole sentence, huh? Alright, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Yep. I can always talk about how great Samus Garobo is. Sorry, I'm not a liar. No, Samus Garobo is pretty awesome. And he will be streaming after me here at around 1 o'clock Eastern in about an hour. So, I don't know, what can I actually mention a little bit in terms of in the news? Things are actually a little on the slow side. We gave away most of it last week. We're working on a few posts. We're working on the producer's letter. We've got a lot of discussion happening regarding Sharn loot right now inside of the office. We're nearing the 400th DDO screenshot of the week, not next week, but the week following. We are getting ready to do most likely a patch in early February we're calling it, not officially, but kind of inside of the house, it's being called the, quote, anniversary patch. And the reason for that is it is going to have some anniversary update stuff in it. Similar to that, we have not yet announced the level ranges for Sharn. I mean, you know it's going to be endgame, but the heroic side of we haven't yet announced. Any chance SSG would consider revamping the guild officer system? Perhaps. But it's not something we have time really to get to at this point. So if it happens, it's gonna be not anytime soon. But perhaps. I know some folks would like to have a more robust ranking system for DDO guilds, but we'll see. Alright, yeah, I figured we'd just start with the new quest, well, newish quest, Lost at Sea. That's the new freebie in the harbor, Isabet Tremont, and I'm in the harbor near the NPC. Do I think the Favor/Falconry tree will make it into the anniversary patch? Probably. My understanding is there's still a little bit of engineering work that needs to be done to make sure it's preserved through reincarnation. But assuming that gets done in Q8 and all that sort of thing in time, that's really one of the last pieces we have. And that's on the to-do list before we can release the Falcon. So, pretty good chance. EA producer's letter, yeah, it's going to be pretty good. So one of the things that's a little bit of a hang-up on the producer's letter is we're getting close to being able to announce our next classic pack, and don't yet have that finalized in a state that we can really announce it to the public. So depending on how that comes in, we'll either be announcing it in the producer's letter or perhaps just focusing on, say, the first half of the year and the producer able to get it out. But we'll know more about that probably in the next week or. While I'm waiting for the group to get here and such, let me call up the bonus calendar. Oh no, wrong shortcut. No. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Let me switch to the gameplay screen. My voice is cutting out. Okay, so let me see what's up. Alright, I have now lowered the silence detection. Hopefully that should resolve the issue. Please let me know if I am continuing to have my voice cut out. I'm getting to the bonus. The bonus this weekend is an additional VIP XP weekend. VIP players will receive an additional 10% XP. Starts tomorrow and runs. We say it runs through Sunday, but I wonder if that's not actually through Monday, being as Monday is Martin Luther King Day in the United States, and therefore a company day off. So I don't know that QA would actually be in here to turn it off. We'll have to see about that. We had mentioned that the Menace of the Underdark and Shadowfell expansions would be available as bundles in the DDO store, and that you had actually engineered it already, but it was never deployed. Are there still plans to release these expansions in the DDO store? Yes. My understanding is that while a lot of work was done, I was probably incorrect in saying that the engineering work had been completed because it's not yet ready to be deployed in the DDO store. I don't know what the timeline is for that. I'm sorry. As long as it's in a desolate desert, you know I'm down for that. Alright, let's step on in if you're ready. What server? I am on Kyber. We played on beta until about 2 years ago. Oh, played from beta until about 2 years ago. Any reason you should look to coming back? Well, I do work for the company, so I am dubious. But I would recommend that you check out Ravenloft and White Plume Mountain. If those two things don't get you back into wanting to play, then I'm not sure there is much that's going to work for you. Will the season pass come back? We have made no announcement in that regard. It theoretically perhaps could in the future, but
you appear underwater, encased in a magical bubble of air. A warforged waves you over.
we'll just go straight to the entrance. We will have to do a little bit of fighting along the way. I don't want to do like the Invisis thing that I've seen some folks do, because my character just has got heavy armor. Thank you so much, Beast at 1985, an old returning player, saying we are doing an amazing job. Hope you read this message. The game is great and fresh compared to newer games. Thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words. It's very nice of you.
But there's no sign of Vaunt's cargo. The Sahuagin must have hauled it away. Fortunately for you.
I've been enjoying it too. I had a couple of really successful runs of White Plume Mountain this past week. Not on the live. Oh no! Where did we lose our other person? I had a couple of very successful runs of White Plume Mountain. We were running it on hard and elite on Thelanis and ended up I personally got 3 pieces of named loot out of 2 runs. How nice is that? So, nice, Miss Marita. Where did that come from? Where do you get the soulstone thing? That's pretty great. I approve. Oof. Sorry about that. Oh no, it's perfectly fine, Mesmerita. I just hadn't seen that. It's really cool. Still no sentient jewels though, from White Plume Mountain, which is a shame. But the loot's pretty hot, so I'm down.
There are rems back here.
We did have a remnant weekend. I ended up picking up some stuff from that. That was pretty... Ah, cool. We got a named here. Nice. Cookie. Naming this named after our customer service manager.
Champ chest.
It's true. It's not a live stream until I get killed at least once. This is true. Where am I going? I suppose I should probably go to the actual entrance. I agree, the quest could definitely use a giant octopus. We don't actually have that model in the game anywhere, so... Nice. Yeah, I think we probably would end up using something along the lines of Lolth Tech, were we to do something like that.
Containers salvaged from the sunken ships surround the entrance to this underwater cave.
I've been playing a different video game that I probably can't talk about here, just because we don't typically talk about other games. It's not a competitor per se, but it's a game where you're on a ship and the ship gets attacked by a giant octopus, and I've been enjoying it. It's been pretty fun. But yeah, I've been on the DDO side though. It's been a couple of real successful weeks for me. White Plume Mountain stuff. We've got a character ready to epic reincarnate. Quick shout out to Shroud Palooza, which wrapped up their yearly event this past weekend on Caneth. I think it was a good time, and they raised a lot of money for Extra Life, and that's been really cool as well. So there is not a Hydra in DDO. We have plenty of dragons, but no Hydra, I'm afraid.
Don't notice your presence. Those Sahuagin better deliver the goods. Well, I don't trust hired help, mutters the hobgoblin. The troll grunts
Bruno wants to send a shout out to from Harky.
No one betrays Dusk.
To I think it's Machuster Frango, DPS of Orion.
You hear the telltale sounds of traps nearby. This will likely be a
Why commas? Why commas for this particular quest? Well, you know, this particular quest was a it's kind of a free quest, right? And The decision was... Oh god, this thing. I hate this part. So bad at it. I don't think I have any jump potions. I don't suppose anyone can toss me a jump. Trying to lighten the load on my character here to hopefully, maybe be able to make this. Yeah. Yes. Made it. All right. Nice. Why is, when DDO has double comms weekend, why is there not something for heroic levels? Well, not all bonuses are meant to apply to every person in the game. Now, we do typically go for fairly universal bonuses, but, for example, this weekend is a VIP XP weekend, so VIPs will get an additional 10% XP. That obviously has no direct benefit to those who are not VIP. And Commendations of Valor are one of those things that, if you're looking for commendations, then this is the weekend for you, but if you're not... But that's not entirely dissimilar to when we have, say, guild renown weekends, people who aren't in guilds, or... Oh, I guess that's about the only other one I can think of off the top of my head. Champion Hunter weekend. We have people who just don't really run Elite very much. Will there be new sentient gems in Sharn? Nothing to announce at this time. I can't get into the loot. As a matter of fact, there are loot meetings happening now, so before I could even say something like that, we'd want to finalize it on our end here. There's always at least one guy who doesn't have a jump clicky. You're right, that person is me right now. I actually... I'm surprised I don't have jump potions. I like to... We put those out every now and then as free coupons, like freebies of the week. And historically when we've done that, I've gone and just grabbed those stacks for characters like this guy, who is just not very good at it. So, you want to be in a loot meeting? Oh, I know, right? I will tell you, though, it's pretty contentious sometimes. So back to the original question of why commas in this new pack. So it was an ask from the community that there were just not enough named commas. And we were looking for the right kind of loot for, you know, a free dungeon that was kind of a smaller dungeon for December. And being able to address that with a whole slew of commas just kind of seemed to make some sense. So again, you know, not for everyone. But nowadays with Sentient Jewels... a pretty big reason. Is there any possibility somebody could grab Gimmicky's Soul Stone and make the jump? No, I think Sharn's going to be a little bit later than end of February, sorry. No voice for a second, huh? So what's happening here is my XSplit is set to use silence detection. And I set it at home, and it was quite nice on my mic at home, but apparently different mic settings, different rooms. It's muting me a little bit on the stream here, so... An airborne pet to retrieve soul stones. What a cool idea. Ghost should be able to fly, really. Nice. Raid reset timers not working on Demon Queen. Man, there was a conversation just recently about that, but I can't remember. I think it is that they do work, but not for part 1. Isn't that correct? Like you can do, you know, ADQ1 is a non-raid. Oh, I don't know. Let me double check on that. I don't know. I remember there was a conversation not too long ago about that after it came up on the forums, but I can't remember what the end result of that is. You know, we could always do the combat side if things are just not gonna work here. That's all right too. I don't feel bad about not making this jump very much. I myself have had many a frustrating time trying to make these jumps. You really need a max jump to get that final jump, or you need to be able to do some kind of like leap slash feather fall thing to go around the pillar there. Oh yeah, we should definitely maybe sacrifice me to the blood altar first, huh? Yeah, okay, that sounds fine.
A nearby cave wall slides open to reveal the way forward. A Sahuagin stands before a vast portal.
Any plans to add repeaters to upcoming raid content? They have been left out of recent raids. I could pass that along to Linabelle and Steel Star. Yeah, so Fire the Dragon Leader, I can't remember if the issue is that you need to have ADQ1 done and then you can use the raid bypass timer, or if you have to... Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. It's been too long. For them, you make the item polls. Oh yeah, by the way, there is a forum thing happening where Linabelle is doing some... kind of multiple choice style polling to have the community help make an item here for Sharn. Are we ever going to have a projected list of future choices, or will every poll be a blind vote? I'm not going to steal Linabelle's thunder on this, but I would say that there are plans. I don't think it's going to get granular like, you know, which of the following benefits do you want, but there is some pretty cool stuff that will be done. So stay tuned. It's going to be, it's really just mostly meant for a fun thing to do. And I think people are having some fun with it. But that's really, you know, I'm not going to spoil the thunder on that one at this point. So I remember talking to Cookie about that particular last jump. And the intention is that yes, not everyone may be able to make it, which is why there is an alternate path. If you can't gear and jump yourself up enough to be able to make that, then perhaps the other path is the way forward for you. Oh, so I know this is completely off topic, but someone mentioned Bandersnatch, the kind of Netflix choose your own adventure thing done by the Black Mirror folks. And I have to mention this crazy story that happened to me last weekend. Was it last week? Yeah, last weekend when I finally watched it. So, this is not going to include a spoiler per se on Bandersnatch. It's a very minor background sort of choice. So if there's any concern about that, just so you know, ahead of time. So I watched Bandersnatch, which is like a choose your own adventure style thing on Netflix, on a Sunday afternoon. And that prior evening I was playing records in my record collection. And decided to, I was kind of in the mood for some of my more kind of esoteric vinyl records. So the two records I played prior to watching Bandersnatch were Tangerine Dream's Phaedra and Tomita's The Bermuda Triangle. Yes, those exact two records. So then I hear, Bandersnatch is really weird and kind of a mind-blowing thing and all that sort of stuff. And I start watching it. And early on, the main character goes into a record store, and you, as the viewer, have to choose which of the following two records the character purchases. Tangerine Dream's Phaedra or Tomita's The Bermuda Triangle. And I sat there going, what? No. It can't be, right? What? I mean, I was just like, intrinsically, I knew that there was zero opportunity that somehow Netflix knew what the previous two records I had listened to were. But what are the odds that those two relatively obscure records are going to show up as a multiple choice thing and a thing known for being a kind of a psychedelic mind-blowing experience just hours after I watched listened to those particular two records? And I was like, I was just like, no, it can't be. But could it? No, it can't be. It can't be. And it just blew my mind there. So anyway, I had to share that because it was just one of the strangest things that's happened to me in a while. So, yeah. Am I sure I'm the one who made the choice to play those records? Yeah, I know. Yep. Glitch in the Matrix for sure. Yeah. Instead of cosmetic armor for the anniversary, maybe we can get sentient gems. I don't think we'd probably want to give out a freebie sentient gem. That's just a little much, I think, for kind of a free anniversary item. Sentient gems contain a lot of value, and we would like to preserve that value for them, so. Let's see here. How about... Could everyone get over to Evening Star? I actually don't have Mask of Deception done, and that's a kind of an easy one-off that we could do. So just to be sure, when I got into the office this past Monday, I went and asked the SSG folks, I was like, okay, so if you watch Bandersnatch, what records did you get to choose from? Just in case I was insane. But, because I thought, I mean, I knew it couldn't have been, but I thought, well, what if the odd off chance that it somehow, queued off my Spotify playlist or something like that, and it just so happened that those showed up, because I do like those two records quite a bit. Thanks, Duke, for stopping by. Was Alexa on? See, that was the other thing I was thinking of. I don't have an Alexa. I don't have one of those things. The closest I have is a PlayStation camera, which does have voice recognition. So, you know, if you be like, PlayStation on, it'll turn on the PlayStation. But I don't have like an Alexa or one of those kind of things. Are all I have on Kyber is epic characters? Yeah, actually, that's right. On Kyber, I don't have very many play characters, but I do have this person who was actually the very first character I ever created in DDO back in 2006. I'm not sure what you mean, Fire the Dragon Leader. Our publisher publishes many games, so they would post things about all the games they publish, not just DDO and Launcher. That's true, I do have an Android phone, so, you know, Google's always watching. If Daybreak Games is doing some kind of publisher sale, then it would be likely you would see some news on Steam about that entirety of the sale. They're watching me, I know they are. You would have had to have agreed to that in Netflix when you paid. Yeah, that's true, right? I mean, I knew, intrinsically I knew that, no, it wasn't possible. But it was just such a weird coincidence that not only the two recent records that I played, but these two relatively obscure records, you know, were the ones that came up. I mean, if it had been, you know, Michael Jackson's Thriller and something else, you know, that would be one thing. But it was just so bizarre. Yep. Sentient gems have value? Maybe my weapon should stop eating them then. Oh, it's up to you. Sorry, Joe. We have no plans to do kind of a Ravenloft upgrade. If you want the ultimate, you gotta buy the ultimate.
With as little cunning as a kobold, you have given yourself away as an imposter.
Wow, that hurt. A Yalthun gem would be great. Yeah, that would be fun. Ooh, nice. Where's everyone going? Here we go. Is it possible to give VIP accounts, if they have it, to give a guest pass once a week or such for a quest for another player to play with? that has come up. I think the trick is you wouldn't want it to actually have the opposite effect of what you intend. If you want to encourage people to you wouldn't want to encourage people to not be VIP by giving a VIP benefit, but, you know. I do love that bottle of mist as well. I smash on the barrels. Tasty ham. Pretty good assassinating going on there. I have not heard of plans to bring back the Menace of the Underdark Collector's Edition to the DDO market. I believe that that was deliberately a limited duration only thing. We said something like exclusive for the pre-purchase or something like that for Matu.
As the mask is lifted off the pedestal, a piercing alarm fills the air.
That's true. While captivated by the tasty ham, I get ambushed. Yes. Working as intended.
A wizard blocks your way. You thought you'd walk right out of the front door? Think again.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, don't know unfortunately what got me. Dragonwing Sorcerers, White Dragon Breath, 1,594 points of cold damage, 49 blocked by energy resist. And that's that. Hello and greetings from Finland. Awesome. Hello, Finland. Very cool.
As the wizard collapses to the ground, his magic hold over the compound's gates dissipates.
Will freedom of movement potions be back on vendor soon? What are you talking about? You're talking about the Eternal Flasks. They were about a week or so ago, back on the Remnant vendor. If you're talking about something else, then I'm not sure. Woot woot. Yeah, the Eternal Potions from Mysterious Remnants, yeah, they were just there. Actually purchased one of the displacement ones. I know, some people were telling me, it's like, oh, the displacement ones are useless. I was like, I don't think so, man. But... as long as we have about 20 minutes, why don't we run Belly of the Beast? I mean, I know it's only 30 seconds every 5 minutes, but hey, it's 30 seconds every 5 minutes for a character that can't normally cast displacement, so... I thought it was pretty sweet. I forgot to loot the end chest. Yeah, I'm the worst. Study and signal. I'm the worst. I'm sorry, I said don't Belly of the Beast, I meant don't drink the water. Sorry. Don't drink the water. The Evening Star Well one. Oh, really? Its displacement is 1 minute? I just assumed it was 30 seconds like the other one. What server will I be on next week? I'll be on Kyber again for week 2 of 2. Any word on Archmage Pale Master changes coming out? No, other than it's something we intend to do. So yeah, I am still on Kyber next week. Kind of see how much participation I get. If I get a flood of folks that can attend, then we'll do some raiding. If I just get a party full of folks, we'll do party stuff. If there's just a couple of us, then I don't know, just kind of play it by ear. So. What can I tell people about the Dragon Mark of Finding? It says it improves treasure in chests, but how does it work? Similar to treasure finding elixir, does it stack with stuff like that? So, there are 2 tracks, essentially, to boosting the level of to boosting loot. The newer one is the Treasure Hunter's Elixirs that you can get for various methods. Those are a percentage-based increase to your loot roll. So let's just say, for example, you're rolling on random loot at an end chest, and you've got a 5 per whatever. Like you roll on the loot table, and it's like if you get a 97 to 100, you'll get X named item. It will actually increase the number on that roll behind the scenes. So if you roll a 10, you get a 25. If you get a 25, you get a 40 for a plus 15, for example. So that's how the newer Treasure Hunter's Elixirs work. The older version, which is the version that was in the game for a long time and applies to both, trying to think of the exact loot boost potions, along with the Dragon Mark of Finding, is it increases the level of the chest. So what'll happen is if you go into a level 30 quest on Elite, it's level 32, effective level 32, and the chests are CR 32 chests. If you have a +2 loot boost, that would make it a CR 34 chest. That's a separate track from the increase to your roll, but it does offer a benefit as well in that higher level chests offer better loot. So the Dragon Mark of Finding will give you better loot essentially by increasing the effective CR of the chest. Now that stacks all independently, so the Dragon Mark of Finding will stack with a loot boost weekend, which will stack with the loot potions. So it's all a separate track. I believe you can do what, up to +4, +5 in total right now on the CR of the chest. It also does stack, so to speak, with the Treasure Hunter's elixirs, although in reality it's not so much that it stacks as they are separate tracks there. Resac, you bought an expansion pack in the DDO market for a free account. Is it supposed to be premium because it is still flagged as free? Yes. It should be marked as premium, and if it has not been, then you should get in touch with account support through help.standingstonegames.com. Again, help.standingstonegames.com. They'll just take a look, make sure you did the purchase, which I'm sure you did, and then flip a switch to get you your premium status. A bleed effect on a champion would not be anything new. Champions have long had the potential to do bleed effects. Loot gems, not potion gems, Jerry. I'm sorry, I don't quite understand what you mean. Is there a plan on making sentient filigrees a searchable item in the auction house and the ingredients bank especially? I find it hard to find the one filigree I want in the bank. Understood. That would be a good feature to have. Gems of Fortune, though, you do drink them because of the animation. The loot boosts are gems. No, they're not. Well, they're consumables, however you want to call it. So I know that customer service is really backed up right now for a handful of issues, predominantly related to some of the lag issues we saw over the holidays, along with, you know, whenever you have a big increase in sales like you do during, you know, our big deep discounts in December, you have an increase in the number of associated tickets, just, you know, basic stuff. And then additionally, finally, we had the store issue that we had last weekend, and very briefly yesterday as well. And all it's led to really a backlog on customer service. So they're cooking through it. They're working as hard as they can on it, but it's it might take a little longer than normal to get your stuff resolved.
The little ones promised wealth for this, but they said nothing of sending meals.
Oh yeah, Jewel of Fortune. There you go. Anyway, it's a consumable, so...
You were always told not to play with my food. Let's make an exception. You're testing my patience, small one. I will melt the flesh from your bones.
New augment bags large enough to hold all filigree would be great. That's going to be a tricky one there, because, you know, filigree is a thing that we kind of sort of keep adding to, right? So I don't know what the odds of us doing that
To lose to mere...
are. Oh, he crushed the chest. Ooh, flawless green. Nice. You keep hearing about the threat that the TR cache could go away, but what would it be replaced with? A massive increase in bank space? Well, so that is really the tricky part about bringing it out. I mean, recall that despite the way it's used, the TR cache was never meant to be, nor should it be considered, a form of storage. It is a temporary storage space that is meant to exist simply as long as it takes to reincarnate your character, and then theoretically you're supposed to take all the stuff out of that TR cache and then put it into your shared account bank. Now, that is not the reality, despite how it was originally intended. So the reality is people use it as long-term storage. I think were we to get rid of the TR cache, there would be a couple of possible solutions. One might be that you would no longer need to put all your stuff into a TR cache when you reincarnate, and it would simply still be there in your inventory when you reincarnate it. Clearly the community might have some issues with that because they would like to have their long-term storage. Another possibility might be to do something along those lines, but have some kind of compensation in bank space. There might be some economic concerns for the game that would play in there, but perhaps it's something we could do anyway. But it's an unresolved issue ultimately, and that would be something that we need to sort through. But remember, the TR cache is not long-term storage, nor was it ever intended to be. And the fact that it's used as that is nice, but cannot really be a consideration ultimately regarding what we might do to improve reincarnation. I mean, it is a consideration, but yeah, I guess I can't really say that either, because it's been around for so long now. But it's a tricky spot, frankly. But I've not heard of any. There are no plans to get rid of the TR cache. So, kind of more of a philosophical debate than a practical one. I wouldn't say, Samus, that it wasn't that the TR cache was not well thought, or not thought through at the time. I think it was limited. It was a solution that allowed it to be possible given the technology that was there to work with. So I don't think it's so much that someone didn't think about it. It's that they did think about it, and this was the solution that could actually get done. I have not heard of that bug with the Vard's black tentacles. You've never seen anyone using Bigby's guiding hands? Are they worth using or keeping around in the bank? Up to you. I have found use for them, both as a trolling mechanism and also for the occasional useful thing, like if you're zerging ahead of a group and you want to know which tunnel you went down, so to speak. Particularly when a map isn't cleared, you can drop one down and the people following you later can get the proper way out. I've seen it used in, say, the Crucible Maze to help people sort out where they need to go and which side they need to be on and that sort of thing. I've seen it used in Caught in the Web towards the end section there when you want to keep I can't think of the name right now. I'm blanking on the name. The lady there from getting attacked, you kind of hide out in that little cubby hole or whatever. Sort of can drop it to like, nope, keep her here, that kind of thing. I got Temple of Deathworm, Witch Portals. So I do think there's some use for it. Ultimately, if you're not getting any use for it, well, personal decision. But I think they're pretty fun myself. Mark journals in Barovia for groups. That's a good one, too. Nice. I highly recommend it for Devil Assault. A rainbow-colored Devil Assault. That's what I recommend Bigby's Guiding Hands for. We've done it as a guild several times, and it's true fun. Marking the path to Chains of Flame, or ADQ. There you go. Yes, Brian, on Facebook, you are absolutely correct. The loss of the TR cache would be problematic. That is one thing everyone can agree on. All right, yeah, there we go. All right, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here. We have got Samus Garobo starting in just a minute. If you are interested in streaming on DDO Stream, take a look at the calendars, see if there's any time that works good for you. I would prefer that you have a little bit of experience streaming, but provided all those criteria are met and you don't swear or walk around naked a lot on camera, get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me from through Twitter at DDO Unlimited or through the forums, Cordovan, and we'll see about getting you on the schedule. If you just want to hang out and watch DDO stuff, this is the place to be. Please support all of the streamers who do stream on DDO Stream. They make this possible, and they don't get paid for it or anything like that. So it's all about bringing people from DDO Stream to their channel to increase the amount of DDO streaming and making sure that DDO is well represented on Twitch. So, twitch.tv/DDO Stream for more. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook. Very much would appreciate that. I'll be back next week on Kyber with, like I say, either some raiding or some questing. Thank you very much for being in the group with me. I'll get you a points code later on today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.